I'm ready when you are.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Back at it one more time. Thinking Game Podcast, episode 108.
108.
Bro, how was the week before we get into the mission statement?
Oh man, every day was a struggle. The storms kind of get you down. You know when it rain, work, the normal
Yeah, I
hustle and
probably
bustle.
went out, woke up trying to get the kids ready. Boy, it ain't been that dark in the house in a long time. When you got kids, they always find a way to turn the lights on. They try to turn all the lights on. Like, nah, man, the power out, dog. But, yeah.
What's this?
So, man,
What's
shout
this?
out. Hmm?
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah. So before we get into the podcast, let's talk about the mission statement. Let me go back.
You was gonna do a shout out?
No. You can do a shout out if you want to.
Nah,
We can
it's
talk
all
about the mission
good.
statement. So let's talk about our mission statement. Our mission, Thinking Game, is made by guys who are from Southwest Little Rock. Our mission is to encourage and give insight to youth and young adults on how to overcome inner city obstacles and elevate in their life and career. This podcast is for the youth and young adults who needs to help who needs help on how to think through life obstacles and increase chances of success. That's what this podcast is about. If you've been curious about it, I just had to put it on paper.
But on paper.
And
And like I said,
go
these
ahead.
are our opinions, and everybody's got one.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
these are some things we struggle with, and some
Oh
things
boy,
we
yeah,
see, and you know, putting our
yep.
2 cents in, doing some researches on some subjects, and we kind of dive in on some things. So,
And some of the stuff we just went through and just learned through trial and error. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
I was telling my wife sometimes when you go over, we go, you don't have a mentor. Your mentor is your scars that you get from messing up. That's your mentor. You know what I'm saying? Your trial and
Experience
errors.
is
You
a
know what I'm
good
saying?
teacher. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, guys, get into this first slide. Let's see. Is it four? The first is something to warm up with. It says, this young man was homeless, living under a bridge. He was hired by Waste Management temporarily 7 months ago. He has never missed a day and never complained. He is now a permanent employee with benefits. He has reunited with his family and has a car and clothes to wear. That God bless him and those who gave him a second chance at life, especially God. Sometimes people just need a hand up, not a handout. Why don't we make this go viral? So the thing is on this is how many people where we from they get hands up and they don't take advantage of it versus the people who do. Because it's actually a pretty cool story, but the thing is, some people don't recognize that they have an opportunity to take advantage of because they just don't look at it that way. It depends on your circumstances or mess with your mind or whatever, and you just feel like you just in despair or whatever. So, but shout out to Waste Management though, giving dude a shot because they paying pretty good. I think somebody said they was hiring. They starting out like around 25 an hour. That's not bad, man.
Yeah,
Being
that's
a
not.
trash man, it's not bad at all.
I mean, it's not bad at all being anything. You got to start, and you got a good wage is hard to come by. And a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
people
for
look at
sure.
this, and the people who receive the hand up and don't take advantage of those opportunities by meeting the person that's helping them halfway, and when I say that, by doing their part, by coming to work,
Yeah.
those
Mm-hmm.
people look at the opportunity as nothing. They're looking at it from a position that they wish they were at. So that's a petty job. Like you don't have a job, but they don't see it as they having a job. They seeing it. They seeing the influences on social media. Everybody's got cash. Everybody's making 100,000.
Yeah.
Everybody's and it's like this. That's beneath me. But you don't have anything. At least
Mm-hmm.
start somewhere. Um,
Right.
and they was like, well, man, they don't pay enough. Like, yeah, sure, $25,000 an hour ain't enough for you, but you don't have nothing. So $25 an hour is less than nothing to you, and you're so, well, I don't want to work for that because that's chump change. The mentality of some people who don't want to receive help is mind-boggling sometimes.
Yeah.
And let's say that's the end of his story. That's not the end of his story, but that's the middle of the story. Some people start right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, well, I was making $25 an hour right out of high school, and he's 35 years old. He's 40 years old, living off the street, and he took him a year or 2 years to get there after living off the street. And I was there like that's his story. That's what he needs to do to get back. And sometimes comparison is, like they said, comparison is the killer of joy. And sometimes when you're down and out, you compare yourself to your peers, your siblings, and everybody else is doing good. And sometimes it's just good to be on your feet. You know what I mean? If you got your bill paid, you're not homeless. Hey, that's a start. That's where you need to make better choices and things like that, and just build yourself up. Easier said than done, though.
For sure. And also when it says that he never missed a day and he never complained, you know what I'm saying? How many people that can work for waste management? Oh man, the smells. Oh man, the stuff that you see. Said he came to work every day, you know what I'm saying, and didn't complain. A lot of times people don't realize that's kind of like could be 60% of the job is being dependable and being reliable.
Yep.
Especially in a job like that where it's kind of a schedule, it's kind of routine. And you have to be there in order to pick up the people trash. People have to come to work on time and stuff. So it's pretty cool that he didn't miss a day. He kind of held it down.
And don't let bad stuff have to happen to you for you to be reliable or thankful.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It seems like a lot of people, when they're brought up from the gutter, they have an attitude of thankfulness and appreciation. Yeah. So they do things like being on time and things like that.
Right.
But people who have never been down, struggled, lost their house, been evicted, wore hand-me-downs and things like that, they have been privileged with their lifestyle. So it's just regular to them, you know, to be on time or to not miss days or not quit jobs. It seems like you have to have a bad trauma experience to make you really appreciate things like, you know, being at work early on time. Or things like that.
But yeah, man, shout out to dude, man. Went from homeless to working full time, man. Said he back with his family, man. Shout out to dude, man. Pretty cool.
Amen,
so
bro.
the next topic is I seen this on I think on somebody had it linked on Facebook, but I already found a account so I can go to it. But it says that women having a conversation of why men put them in the friend zone, which is I ain't never heard of that, but I don't know. I guess everywhere different. I'm gonna play this video real quick and tell me what you think. Let me know if you can hear it.
Problem that I experience with a lot of men is that I'm so cool and I'm so down to earth, and I create this safe space for a lot of men to be transparent and to be vulnerable and to just be open and talk about any and everything, to the point that they start to friend zone me.
Oh, that's happened to me too.
Yeah, and that becomes a problem for me, because it's like, damn if I do, damn if I don't. You want a woman and you want a best friend. I'm here to show you that I can give you all of that, but then you friend zone me and you don't see me, and I'm over here like, hey, hello, I'm right here. I'm hearing you crying, I'm hearing you complaining, I'm hearing you talk about how you want this type of woman, or how I am, you know, you such a good woman, you so this and you deserve that. I'm right here. How am I being overlooked? But I think that when I create a space for a man to be that way, he automatically tends to friend zone me.
Well, that's because men don't want to fuck up the qualities that they can't easily find again. So if you have something that I can't find in all these women, I might need to value that and keep this with me, instead of just putting you in a position, because I'm rotating through girlfriends. I'm rotating through girlfriends. These girlfriends are coming and going, but what we have here, I need to hang on to. And I can relate to that as someone who has experienced that. I often say, the person who gets the most of your vulnerability often gets the least of your love.
Yeah.
The person that you call in to cry with is not the person that you think of when you want to cuddle all the time.
Yeah.
So they don't want to ruin what they have with you or me. So they keep you there and rotate everyone else.
See,
So what you think, man? You think that's
I definitely think
cap, or you think?
Well, I definitely think the second girl had a really good point. You know, if you get somebody in your life, you don't want to lose them, waste the relationship or a casual or sexual encounter or just a boyfriend girlfriend when you got a good friend in somebody who's understanding, somebody who listens to you and things like that. Everybody not meant to be your girlfriend, and every woman is not meant for you to have sex with. You know what I mean? I have a couple really, really strong female friends, friendships that's lasted years. Of course, they're attractive, but you don't see them like that. You know what I mean? I have cousins that are attractive. I don't sexually see them like that. And sometimes you see women as friends or even family after a certain amount of years, and you just don't see them like that. And that's like a point you always make. Make your intentions clear from the get-go. You know what I mean? If you come up like a friend and you approach me like a friend, that's where I'm going to treat you, and that's where that I'm going to put you. You know what I mean? You can't like change your mind. Like, you're a really good guy. Now I'm gonna change my mind. Well, I've already designated you a friend or family, so I don't see you like that. You know.
So what causes a guy to put a girl in the friend zone? I don't know if I ever did that or not. But what causes a girl? What makes a dude say, you know what? I want to talk. I'm gonna put you in the friend zone. Like I'm gonna rate you in the friend zone. Because it sounds like they want to be in a relationship, but the dude's like, nah, I'm good.
Their approach put them there. I think, you know.
That's a good one right there. Yeah.
You know, they approach the situation like a friend. And it's a lot of things that go into it. First two that comes to my mind, attractiveness. Like to say, if you are undesirable, maybe not that attractive.
Attitude.
You know what I mean? Attitude. If you got a good attitude, I don't want to like put you out because you're a really good person. The communication is good. The vibe is good. You don't want to get rid of them, but you definitely don't want to date them. And good people are hard to come by, so you want to keep them close to you. You know,
I think sometimes women, they don't do the common denominator. Like, you are the common denominator. What is it about you that could make you undateable? A man or woman, you can think about that. What makes you undateable? What makes a guy say, you know what? I don't want to put you in a rotation. I don't want to date you. I just want to put you in the friend zone. Is it, you know what I'm saying, bad attitude, or is it you just rambling, about nothing, no conversation? It's a reason why they just don't want to go there. Probably ask the dude to put you in the friend zone. You know what I'm saying?
But that's when you see it as the negative thing. It's got to be for them to be your friend and you to keep constant conversation with somebody over a span of time, 6 months or years. It's got to be something good about them. So maybe there are conversations.
No, but I'm saying you playing that assumption game.
Yeah, you kind of naggy on this and that. You have bad qualities that don't make you a good friend and not a good girlfriend.
Well, maybe he knows some stuff because y'all friends. He knows some stuff about you to be like, nah, you stay right there in the friend zone. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe he's admitted some stuff that he's ashamed of to you.
Yeah.
It's like I can't really, gotta be with you like that because I just say it too much myself. It's a lot of things that go into that. A reason. Let me see.
Sometimes you could be crazy. You know the girl crazy. You're like, nah, she too crazy for me to even take the risk on, so I'm going to keep her as a friend. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So she's too masculine. She's
like,
too
I know you done bust dude windows out. I know you done slash some tires. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to keep, once that little crazy cap or once that little sexual cap hit on you, and you got to kind of go full force. You're too much like a guy. Like, you're really fun, crazy. You can go out with me. Mike, you can go out with all the boys and hang out, really be part of the clique. So, I don't really see you kind of as a girl. Like, you got one, you know what I mean? Sometimes everybody makes mistakes and they slip, you know what I mean? Maybe they try one of their female friends and they have a bad experience and they don't want to ever try a friend again because of that experience. So, it's a lot of reasons.
What percentage of guys do you think that even do this? Like, put girls in friend zone? Like, if you could do a percentage that we've been around, a percentage. Do you think 70, 80 that probably won't do that? You know, some dudes will make you think you the friend until you slip, and then they gonna go ahead and knock you down.
Oh,
you know
yeah, I mean, yeah, I've seen it all. You know, I mean, I've had.
That's what I'm saying. It's a reason why he won't knock you down. It's a reason.
I've had girlfriends that got that little gay friend. He's just my friend.
Yeah.
Soon as they got an opportunity, you know what I mean?
Boy.
Oh yeah, man, he ain't nothing. I would treat you like a queen. So you get all those, you know, kind of fake friends guy. But I think it's higher than you would put it. I think it's about 40% because we got a lot of friends that know a lot of girls that they ain't trying to get with, but they don't want you to get with it either. They be gatekeeping and pillow talking to some girl. Why are you talking to this girl so much? She know all your business. She know all our business because you talking to her, but you really not kicking it with her. You know what I mean? I can pick out maybe in our associate friend group, you know what I mean, our bigger network. I can get named about 4 or 5 guys that do that. They got their little girlfriend. They always talking to, like, who you on the phone with, her, and blah blah blah. And they got that, but they not messing with her. You know what I mean? So, and we know it's not messing with killer instinct, black girl.
Yeah, some dudes got the killer instinct. They're not going. They just got you on. They got you on the bench till you ready to play. Then when they see you ready to play, let's go ahead and put you in the game for a couple of minutes, then sit you back down. And some dudes they put you in the friend zone. They, they'll be your friend to the end. It ain't a lot of dudes that do that. It ain't a lot. It's like like you said, about 40% of dudes that would do that. But that other 60 though, huh?
You thirsty guys, like some of the guys that's hungry for sex, all they talk about, they just want it, they ain't got enough of it. But when a guy gets girls, has sex on the regular, his friends are just his friends. Like, I look for these type of women to have relationships with, and like, you my friend. I mean, I can get that other places. Some of them want to, if it's breathing, I'm gonna hit it. So,
like
and
laughing
really
hyenas.
watch out for that too as well.
Yeah, for real. All right, let's get into the topic of the podcast now. The topic of this podcast is how to avoid the legal system. Let us know.
The benefits of avoiding just not getting in it. Period.
Yeah. How do you avoid the legal system? So here's the first slide right here. Why is it important to avoid the legal system at all costs? And it's very important, number one, because do you want to spend that amount of money that it take to play the legal game? It costs a lot of money, man. It's not cheap, man. You know what I'm saying? A public defender is not the way to win in a legal game. You know what I'm saying? Just not. They get paid by the state. The place that's trying to send you to jail. That's what they get. They say that's what they get paid by. So you should think about that. What a public defender is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, even on the little side, I mean, traffic violations. Every fine costs money. Every time you go into court, costs money. Like court fees and things like that.
Yes.
Being late to one, a failure to appear. Now you got a warrant. I don't know how many of y'all get PTOs or vacation time. You get a warrant out for your arrest that you don't know about because it was a little traffic thing. Now you got to spend 30 days or a week in jail. You know, my job ain't gonna wait for me 30 days.
No, not gonna happen.
You know what I mean? And it's on the smallest level. That's a traffic violation that you didn't take care of. Now you got a failure to appear. Now you got a warrant. You get pulled over, and they have to take you in. Or who got $1,000 for a ticket? You know what I mean? $200 here and there for things like that. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's not talking about felonies, losing the right to vote, can't get federal jobs, and things like that.
And then when you think about things you did at school that you just got suspended for, like fighting or doing violent stuff, you may got suspended for or expelled. In real life, when you get out of school in real life, that could be a charge, and that's gonna cost. Like to get a lawyer, to retain a lawyer, you could be looking at now with inflation. You be looking at like $10,000 just to get the process started. But that's not the whole process of you going through court, though. You can spend almost what a average person's salary is on a lawyer, like 25, 30,000, if not more, for a criminal case. You know what I'm saying? Punching somebody, was that battery?
Yeah.
Assault and battery?
Battery
You can mess
assault,
around and get 2
aggravated
years.
assault.
You mess around and get 2 years in jail just for that. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like people always with their guns as well. It's self-defense. Self-defense ain't necessarily always that clear cut and that easy to prove.
Yeah.
It could be self-defense, but the camera angle, you said they did this and they said they did something else. The witnesses say something different. You was actually in the right. Dude tried to hit you and you shot him. Well, you shot him. He didn't have a gun. He just had his fist. But ain't nobody gonna put their hands on me and you shot that man. Now you facing an attempted murder charge. Even if you beat it, you gotta hire a lawyer. You gotta miss work. All that stuff. Just getting in the legal trouble, right or wrong, can be extremely costly.
Yeah. And when you think about like what you were saying with self-defense, this is for real. Some situations you get in, that's why it's good to avoid it if you can. It may be self-defense, but in the courtroom, it's gonna be first-degree murder or it's gonna be manslaughter. You had to use self-defense to get out that situation. Let's say if you go do a drug deal, you don't think this dude gonna try to kill you. Well, you got to defend yourself to get out of that situation, but now it's drugs and stuff involved. You had to defend yourself. It's self-defense, but somebody dead. You know what I'm saying? But you got to defend that in the court of law. How do you paint that picture?
You think it's automatic, but you have to prove. It's going to be, they're paying somebody that makes six figures to prove it wasn't self-defense. And you want to pay a dude $100 a day, or you cheat $25 a day to defend you, or a public defender that's getting paid $35,000 a year to defend you. They're gonna tell the story. They're gonna tell a really good story. I've been in court, and I've seen the way the prosecutors spin that story. You just, somebody did, and they're gonna try to get you. So don't put yourself in these situations. I always say carry a gun, but hey, if you carrying a gun just for self-defense, you better have a lawyer on retainer. If you pull that thing out, like if you fight somebody, both of y'all can walk away. It's a possibility. When you pull a heater out, somebody gonna be staying there forever.
I'm trying to find this video on active self-protection where this dude was he was at a protest and some dudes had jumped on him and he pulled his gun out and shot one of the dudes. But then the way that it happened, who pretty much got met, he probably finna go to jail for that, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't. He pulled it out after he kind of got away from him. And then, matter of fact, here you go, right here.
He wasn't in danger anymore. They're going to analyze every second. If you go over somebody else's house, you go over, go ahead.
Let me get to the part, hold on. Okay.
You on somebody else's property defending yourself. Why was you there?
Hold on, it ain't. Maybe
I ain't got no volume
on this one. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know why it's not. That's weird. Let me do this one. Let me go back to it. All right. That's cool. Maybe we don't need the volume because if we do,
I mean, you already explained it, like
Yeah. So the dudes jumped on him, right? See, they jumped on dude in the green. They beat the brakes off. But see what he did? Boom! You can't do that, bro. He pulled the gun out after he got away from on the other side of the wall. Now, if he would have pulled it out probably when they was beating him up right there before he got away. Like if he'd pulled it out right there, maybe. But I think once he crossed over that wall and he pulled it right there, boom, you're done. And then he ran off. They're gonna show him when he picked the phone up. Dude ran off, man. He got up out of there.
But when you were in court, it's like he could have ran at first. Like when he first got on the wall, he could have removed himself from the situation and protected himself by being safe and creating distance. So, but a lot of people I know, if somebody put their hands on me, I'm gonna kill them. You know what I mean? Don't put your hands on me. And now you're mad and you're angry. But that second he crossed the wall, it's not self-defense no more. You just mad because they hit you and you're trying to end their lives because they hit you. And you think you're justified by that, and you are not. I mean, depending on what state you in, but I don't want to play those games with my life. I'm gonna see my son for like 10 years because
especially when they got on video. See, they didn't have video, the lawyer probably could argue it. But the video, with the video, it's hard, man, to pull that off. You know what I'm saying? You have to be in danger, but that's so blurred. That line is so blurred, though. You know what I'm saying? When they say danger or whatever. So,
well, I was scared, but you weren't in danger. And then, like, you're pulling, like, you have deadly force. They are going to die. You got a gun. You might die fist to fist. You can protect yourself from a fist with your hands up. This ain't gonna do nothing for a bullet. So and then
go to jail. It's not guns in jail. It's knives in jail. Anything they can use to puncture you with. Yeah. And
people like, man, they on the street, they tough because they got their pistol with them all the time. I met this dude. He was like, man, probably 290. Man, I ain't fighting nobody. You know what I mean? I got the heat for everybody. Sir, you talk a lot, and you provoke people. You'll provoke somebody, disrespect somebody's wife, put your hand on somebody's wife, and then something happens, you shoot them. You provoking people, and then you trying to shoot them.
Yeah.
I mean, just get ready to go with no guns.
Before we go to the next slide, Peel, why is it important to avoid the legal system at all costs?
Well, as far as what?
Just avoiding it, period. At all costs. When you get out of school, a lot of kids, they get out of school like summertime, they ain't got nothing to do, but you got to think about what you're doing, though. Do you want is this going to put me in the legal system? Like probation sucks.
Oh, yeah.
That's about worse than being in jail because you can't do nothing. Your margin for error is very slim to none. You know what I'm saying? You can't do nothing.
Yeah, especially if it's something violent or something like that. Boy, they is not going to hire
Drug test you all the time. They can call you anytime. What you doing? And that's just kind of how the game go.
They like to have a blunt every now and then. Now you got to be super on edge. Like in my job, gonna test me because I'm on paper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm known as this type of offender. I gotta go to the PO and stuff like that. Now you can't do normal stuff because they watch you with their little microscope.
And then the job will play you different too because they know that you need the job.
Yeah.
So that's how you doing all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They almost get over on you because like you gonna say something, I'll call you probation officer, man. What you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying?
Another thing I was telling my son early, don't get this don't get in the habit or think it's normal to be getting sent out of class, going to the principal office. You don't want that reputation on you. You don't want when they look in your little record, he got 17 referrals. I'm like, well, that ain't nothing. You get used to being in the system and that little reputation is gonna transition. Like you said, it's a fight at school, it's assault. You know what I mean? When you in the club or at the bar later on in life, you know what I mean? Like 17, 19, 21, that's real jail time. So
for real.
Just don't start early. You know what I mean? I'm telling him, hey, stay in the class, do what you're told.
So the next topic is a person can have the most elaborate plan of crime and something always goes sideways. And I'm going to go to the video real quick. And it's like, how hard is it to plan something with another human involved?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, when they break in the house, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna plan for this.
Hold on, let me
Things
see.
things are never going according to plan.
as Larry uses it for rolling cover and continues firing. Larry Phillips Jr. and Emilian Matasauranu. They had planned for their next hit to be at another Bank of America location, and in order
For people who don't know, this is probably one of the most infamous shootouts caught on camera. These dudes try to play in this. I think they robbed a bank a couple of times, and they didn't get caught. And for some reason, they just didn't stop. They had to go back that third or that final time. But this is the kind of stuff you playing and listen to how they playing some of this. We'll probably let you know, but then how it didn't work out.
to maintain fire superiority, the pair would bring with them 3 Norinco Type 56 rifles, a Bushmaster XM15 Dissipator, an HK91 or civilian G3, and a Beretta 92 FS. The pair
Man, I don't know if people understand about guns, but those not Fisher Price toys, man. That's the big boy toys, you know what I'm saying?
No, they plan to have a shootout.
Think about how long it took for them to load everything up to have 100 rounds. You know how long it takes to load 100 rounds in the drum, man? That ain't no
And they
5 minute
fired
thing.
over 1,000 rounds
Yes.
between two people.
Easy.
Them
Yeah.
two.
They're also
Fire
heavily
down.
laid up in body armor, each wearing bulletproof material for a soft vest before inserting metal trauma plates underneath those vests. Phillips went a step farther by wearing what's called a groin guard, as well as taking pieces of Kevlar and duct taping it to his arms and legs.
You know what? You just like, you know what? I'm going to go the extra mile. You know what I'm saying?
And like they not gonna get me. I know the police ain't gonna get me because I'm gonna put it on my legs. Nobody ever thought of this. I'm gonna be the first one to do this.
Boy, I got a great idea. Boy, woo, I got so
Why
fun.
some of y'all think like that? If I rob a bank, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hand this, and I'm gonna hand that, and I'm gonna get away. And that's what they're thinking.
That's why you got to be careful about this sound in your head when you be thinking of stuff, because he was having this sound in his head. They were coming up with this.
Each of the men wore gloves in order to hide their fingerprints, so the gloves had sewn-in watch faces so that they could time the robbery itself. So, on February the 28th of 1997, the two men
that's the
pulled
one in
into
LA.
the north parking lot at
Yeah.
9:16 a.m. To calm their nerves, the two downed phenobarbital before they walked in. Phenobarbital is typically an anti-seizure medication, but for what they were using it for, it was a very intense nerve suppressor. The two set their timers for 8 minutes and then exited the 1987 Chevy Celebrity. Completely kitted out, the two made their way to the sidewalk and then began to walk.
How in the world do you walk with that much armor on and think it's going to have that kind of attention, man? Clearly, these dudes didn't watch Heat. They didn't watch Heat at all. Clearly.
And they-
Two dudes walking into a bank with he got body armor on his legs, man. You know what I'm saying?
They're like
First
they're
of all-
walking like RoboCop.
They in
Man,
a
for real.
Into the bank.
1987 celebrity.
Celebrity, man.
Boy,
Out of all the cars you can pick, a celebrity. Not an Astro van, not a Chevy Express van. Oh, what's the jump out van? The 40 Econo line. They couldn't even get a 40 Econo line.
No Ford Ranger.
Man.
What a
of
celebrity.
America. And that 8-minute timer probably would have been okay if it wasn't for a patrol car that just so happened to be driving by at the same time.
And that's the stuff you can't plan for, right?
It's always gonna happen. Somebody gonna be walking by, just the police. That was a miracle that police just saw him, just driving.
Boy.
How often do police be patrolling to see?
Yeah, not like they
somebody?
used to. Yeah, not like they used to. Yeah. Depending on where you at. I still be seeing them on Oak Street though. When we roll, we just be hitting the back road sometime, rolling through Oak Street. My wife didn't even know what Oak Street was known for. She'd be laughing when I be telling her like, oh man.
Patrol car saw the two.
I've seen more police in the good neighborhood than I've seen in the bad. Like go to Southwest with all that patrolling.
Depending on where you at. I be seeing them, they be in church parking lots chilling. They be over there. They don't be patrolling, but they be posted up though. I do be seeing that a lot. They be posted up. Like if you're not paying attention, you can ride right past them doing 50. He's like, yeah, he coming for you, dog.
Yeah, he got
Because you know when McClellan was there, they used to post up all the time on McClellan because they used to catch you with people in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Speed trapping them and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You guys in ski mask, bulletproof armor with rifles, walking into the building and figured it was a problem. Walking into the front
You
door,
think?
there was a man using the ATM who Larry grabbed, threw on the floor, yelled, "This is a holdup," and began shooting into the ceiling. Larry kept shooting and telling everyone to get down, while Emil ran to the teller door, shot the lock off, and then grabbed the assistant manager. As soon
Like, people don't understand. You hear somebody shoot a fully auto in the ceiling. That's not a welcoming sound.
You hear that indoors.
No earmuffs like at the gun range. You ain't got no earmuffs on. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Then that boy going off so you hear that boy going off so fast, man. Woo-wee. Yeah, man. So keep playing it, man. That's crazy.
as the two had walked in, the teller hit the panic button, although that didn't really matter because again the patrol car already saw them, and Emil made his way with the assistant manager to the vault to start loading the bags with money. However, due to the recent string of robberies, a couple probably committed by Larry and Emil, the banks had changed procedure. So
see, that's another thing they didn't account for. You got away a couple times, and you thinking, let me pull it fast forward a little bit. You thinking that they ain't gonna change the procedure, and boy, changed everything. Cause I think they ain't even get the money that they wanted because it was too crazy how they had it. All them little safe deposit boxes.
back up. After he comes back inside, he goes to the security guard who is laying on the ground with everyone else before putting a gun to the back of his head and saying, "Whenever I tell you to, move everyone into the vault." Larry then says something to Emil, most likely informing him that there's police outside and it's about to be a fight. So Emil zips up the bag he's been filling, which contains $303,305 as well.
So before you see this gunfight, ask yourself: is your life worth $303,000? And you might not even get the money.
You probably not gonna get it when they start shooting.
You talking about playing roulette in real life? That's what these dudes do. They play roulette in real life.
As 3 die packs. Die packs, for those that don't know, are these little packets of dye that are made to explode if something's stolen or taken away, so that it becomes unusable and traceable for whoever stole it. I'm sure Emil wasn't aware of this, and after a short discussion with Phillips, they changed their game. While all of this is happening inside, on the outside, police are taking up defensive positions around the front door of the bank, and Emil is currently trying to bust open the ATMs in order to get some more money. So Larry steps out of the bank, now seeing more police cars lined up in front of him, and just starts shooting. Again.
Now, imagine if you a cop and all you have is what? Did they have Glocks then, or was it more revolvers then?
No,
They probably had Berettas.
No.
Berettas. A Beretta. What? 10 rounds at best? What was the
15.
thing back then? 15 at the most. 15 won the chamber. This dude raised up. Not only do he got an AK, but he got a drum on it. You know what I'm saying? So on level, he got a banana clip. Okay, 30 rounds, but he got a drum. You don't know how much is in that thing. You know what I'm saying? And he playing the drummer boy.
They shotguns, and then he can hit them so far, so accurate.
Yeah.
Their shotgun wasn't even in range, and them pellets was bouncing off their armor.
All you hear is that's what's going on through your head the whole time.
Again, his AK had been illegally converted, so it was just full auto fire in the middle of a busy street in LA at 9 in the morning. So for the first 4 minutes, Larry's just standing outside, shooting a lot, and then reloading, and then shooting.
4 minutes is a long time. Somebody shooting 100 rounds at you.
Man.
I wish I had the Key Sweat song, Make It Last Forever. That's what it feels like.
That's a
Shooting 100 rounds, he switch seats in your car, anything. You know what I'm saying?
That's a long
That ain't easy.
time.
That's a long time. 4 minutes is a long time, man. A minute is a long time.
Minutes, he was shooting at time.
Man.
And again, without really worrying about cover. And the police on the receiving end were essentially pinned down and taking on casualties. Several officers and civilians were receiving gunshots to the legs and arms. The police began retrieving shotguns from their vehicles, but again, at the distance, they didn't do much, and what they did do, the armor stopped. After 4 minutes of this, Larry steps back into the doorway of the bank and Emil comes out to join him. The police during this time are trying to take pot shots at the two, but anytime one of them gets a shot off, they're met with a hail of gunfire. This continues for about 3 minutes before the duo decide to make their way back to the car. As Emil began to follow Larry to the parking lot, about 6 feet after leaving the door, the dye packets exploded. Now what Emil did not know, or at least didn't realize in the heat of the moment, is that most of the money was fine as it was still wrapped in plastic. However, Larry, thinking that it was all ruined, dropped the money bag.
So now you in a gunfight. The money that you risking your life for, he just said, forget it. The adrenaline, I guess, will make you do that. I don't know, but you know what? I don't need it. Let's just get out of here.
Yeah.
Now you want to
That's
leave.
crazy, man. Yeah, I want to live, man. But man. Wee.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Once you start shooting at the police like that for 4 minutes straight, the chances of you surviving is very slim.
Yeah, yeah.
Very slim.
Especially with LA with the helicopters.
Boy,
Trying to
LA.
get
Boy.
And upon rounding the corner to the parking lot, Emil finally took his first effective hit when he was shot just above the eye. During the video, you can see Emil grabbing his head and then touching the hood of the white car next to him and the clearly visible blood print. It seems that getting shot in the face highly discouraged Emil from continuing the fight. At this point, it's believed the two
So dude got shot in the face. He's still going. He probably was on that what they call the anti-seizure stuff. But it then, like I said, you don't want to get caught, man. So you try to fight your way through it. But man, you bleed now. It's probably all in his eye and stuff. So people don't realize this, man. It's a gunfight, man. You think you be watching these Call of Duty, these little movies and stuff. But you don't realize, man, when you get hit, man, it's a whole nother level when you get hit, especially above your eye. Look at it, crack his skull, man.
Yeah, and
They're probably so far away, though.
Yeah, but and then he had that armor on his head as well.
Yeah.
But that makes you think somebody's shooting straight.
Boy.
You had taken several rounds to the body armor, but the face is a big deal. After this, Emil goes and sets down in the car. It's unknown if he did this in order to leave or if he was just trying to gather himself. But either way, Larry was certainly not leaving as he made his way to the trunk and began resupplying on ammo. Now,
So this is what happened when you make plans with people and you're on the same page and then something, and everybody got different thoughts now. You know what I'm saying?
They tried to get the game plan was off.
Yeah, he tried to go get in the car. Yeah.
It's always business. Never personal.
He instead of getting in the car trying to leave, he reloading. It's like, y'all want to have a gunfight? Let's have a. Hey, dude, like, man, he wants to get in the car and leave, man. What you doing, man? You think he Rambo now?
There can be only one.
He a Highlander. He a Highlander now.
There can be only one.
what happened during the next 20 minutes is a mystery. There seems to be a conversation happening between the two on the ground, but we can't be sure what it is. Regardless of what Emil's intentions are in this moment, it seems that Larry is ready to fight. He keeps sweeping the areas where he saw gunfire coming from earlier, as well as checking the streets to which police could be coming down, as well as coming around the building and checking the drive-through lane. All the while, when he goes to these corners, he continues firing shots. Now, it's not known if Larry was doing this for strategic purposes.
I'm gonna go forward, but yeah, that 20 minutes shooting, y'all.
And just walking
Think about
around.
how crazy this is. Yeah.
And begins giving covering fire. It's during this time while walking around the side of the car that it seems Larry was hit 3 times. He then began to fire back, seemingly unfazed. However, many believe that this was the killing blow. And not for the round that Larry took, he was only shot in his hand and seemed to be okay. I mean, his left arm was down anyway. But because of the round that hit his gun. In a rather bizarre malfunction, his gun was shot right there at the front of the mag well. This created a sort of divot in the gun.
Can you imagine how lucky a shot that was, bro? you aiming for him, but you hit the mag well, and now he can't pull the mag out. But man, that HK was a monster though, shooting that mug, man. I know him like happy that he couldn't use that gun no more. That's a big gun.
They planned all that, but you can't plan for getting hit in the arm. You can't plan for getting hit in the hand. You can't plan for your gun getting shot. So,
Oh yeah.
just don't.
It don't feel like a scrape on the ground when you ride your bike. You scrape your knee. I don't think it feel like that. I think it feel a little bit worse than that.
Gun itself, so that the magazine became trapped inside of it. Again, some consider that didn't help, that at least inferring by the footage, he was shot in the left forearm again and was now leaning on the side of the car. With all of this happening at
His homeboy opened the door like, man, get in the car, man. He still don't want to do it, man. What do you do at that point, man? I mean, he only want to get in the car.
once, Emil really wanted to leave that north parking lot. Eventually, he leans over to the passenger side and pushes open the door for Larry to get in, but Larry, determined to do whatever he's about to do, slams the door shut and remains outside. So
What do, man? You open the door for him and he shut the door.
And walk beside the car.
And he think he can
Man.
walk fast to the car. Even
Man.
on flat tires, you can still go fast.
Man, it's crazy.
So now Emil is driving the car with 2 flat tires as Larry uses it for rolling cover and continues firing. While still firing and possibly communicating something to Emil, they get to the exit of the north lot and Larry makes a bound for cover to his east. There was a large tractor trailer parked there, which actually was only parked there because a neighbor had complained about its previous position the night before. While still being shot at, Larry runs to one side of the tractor trailer for cover, while Emil drives around it to the other side. It seems that the two lost sight of each other here.
I think that happens, man. When you're in a shootout, it's like, dude, you would think that he gonna go to the other side of the truck and go ahead and hop in the car. That's what you think. It's like this dude living for the shootout. What you do at that point? It's like, man.
Emil
what
starts
are you
to
doing?
slowly gas the car as if he's waiting for Larry to come out on the other end, and Larry starts
No
looking
way
back
down
and forth
street.
on either.
Yeah. He thought that he was gonna come out in the front side of the truck and hop in the car. I bet you that's probably what he thought. He's like, well, if you want to keep shooting out with him, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do at this point.
Side of the truck to see where Emil is. It was during these few seconds that an officer had looped around to Emil's side of the tractor trailer and began shooting at him in the vehicle. Emil panicked and gassed the car, and in the video you can see the car hit the curb and then correct itself. But it now meant that Larry was completely alone and without cover. While standing and supposedly looking for Emil, Larry got shot twice in the back, one of the rounds hitting his subclavian artery. It's very possible here, with that shot being the first shot that would have given a lot of blood and pain, that Larry started to panic. Because
So that means that the other drug wore off that they took before they went in there.
I mean, he
How
got
many
hit in the
shots?
big bone. He got hit in the big bone. I mean, you don't.
How many shots do it take to lose your high? 1,
What?
2, 3, 4. Man, he said he felt that. He's like, wait a minute. I didn't know it was this real. He felt that.
while returning fire from behind the trailer, his gun jammed again, and this time he made it way worse. See, Larry's gun had experienced something commonly called a stovepipe. In other words, one of the casings that was supposed to come out of the gun instead stayed inside the gun. But Larry, seemingly in a panic, grabbed the bolt and started racking it down,
Every
which
time.
Yeah, and I seen that happen for real at a gun range. A dude, bullet, did that, and he couldn't even pull it back. He couldn't even rack it because it was stuck. The casing was stuck. And I told him, like, I said, I said, man, the best thing you can do, man, is put that joke on the table and just pull it down, man. And hope it don't break the pullback on the AK. But he did that, and then the casing popped out. But yeah, you can't plan for that. A lot of times when he get jammed like that, it's a wrap.
as you can
In
see,
a gunfight,
runs
it's a wrap.
in that area where the casing was stuck and makes it dig further down in the gun. And he just started racking that thing over and over and essentially broke the gun. In order to fix what he did, it would take an entire field disassembly, which he did not have the time for. Seeing nowhere else to go, Larry crawled underneath the tractor trailer. Shortly after
gave
Larry
up.
had crawled under the truck, a cop car came up that was chasing Emil's vehicle. However, the driver looked towards the tractor trailer and saw Larry hiding underneath it. So they quickly got out of the car, shot towards Larry, and probably hit him another 2 times. I think it was during this time Larry really put together that this wasn't going to end well. He went from his very tactful and straightforward idea to a much more sloppy, casual walk. He drew his handgun from his shoulder holster and began firing it one-handed at the police. In his left hand, for some reason, he was holding an HK magazine as if he was going to make it back up the road to the car and get the gun back out. It's possible at this moment that the lack of adrenaline and blood loss was getting to him. He continued to exchange
it's a
shots
wrap.
with the police until one of the police rounds hit him in the hand, causing him to drop his gun. It was at this
They're not gonna stop shooting at you. That's what you gotta realize, young people. When you shoot at the cops, man, they not gonna stop shooting at you, man. Dude probably lost so much blood. Even when we get to the other, I just need to skip to it. He lost so much blood. Like, imagine bleeding out for like 30 minutes. This dude probably bled out for about 30 minutes
Yeah, I mean,
after getting shot in the head and the back.
He got shot in the head.
You don't even want to bleed
Wow.
out for 10 minutes. You don't even want to bleed out for 10 minutes. So you got to think about how much blood you actually got in your body, how much time it'll take to bleed all of it out. That's probably not that long. You know what I'm saying?
That suit was getting heavier and heavier.
Boy, for
Moment,
real.
Larry decided it was over, and also that he wasn't going to jail. So Larry leaned over, picked up the gun with his injured hand, and took his own life. So now the only person
So yeah, he took his own life.
He didn't plan for that.
Yeah.
up his weapon and finally give up. Emil throws his hands in the air in order to surrender. However, the police, who are laid under the car, continue firing and strike him in the buttocks and leg. The officers then move around to the front of the car and cuff him as he laid on his stomach. Unknowing if the guy had a bomb or other weapons on him, one of the officers aimed a gun at the back of his head to make sure he didn't try anything, and the front of the gun was so hot that it seared the impression of the flash hider into the back of his head. After
I don't think people realize that, like, that's like a branding almost. You know, you see those Omega Sci-Fi brandings on dudes? That the barrel of the gun did that to the back of his head. You know what I'm saying? While he bleeding out at the same
After this,
time.
police and news crews managed to come up and begin to get action shots of the scene, which led to this very iconic image of the arrest. The police kept asking for Emil's name, to which he gave the false alias of P, something like a clipped femoral. However, what he did have was a bunch of barbiturates in his system. Barbiturates can also act as a blood thinner, so it's quite possible that the drug he was on caused him to bleed out a lot quicker. Emil laid on the ground bleeding for 56 minutes. Now, this argument has two sides. On the one hand, there were several calls coming in that another gun
Man, listen, 56 minutes is a long time to bleed out. I don't care how you can't even make that sound even remotely cool at all.
Yeah,
I mean, and then think about this: the ambulance took an hour to get there. The
on
ambulance.
purpose.
Maybe it got stuck in LA traffic. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So think about that. That's why you out here playing in crime. You better think about that, man. Especially with other humans involved. Sometimes you be on the same page till you're not on the same page. You know what I'm saying?
Look at all the planning they did. Look, they were super equipped. They had guns, they had alternate guns, they had over 1,000 rounds of ammunition, and they still
Yeah.
lost.
They did. Yep.
And you gonna do it with your uncle's 38 or your mom's 357 or 380 that you found under
Six-shooter.
the pillow, and you gonna
Six
like
better.
rob a bank and you gonna have a shootout with the police.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
And then a lot of times, on a small scale, dudes in the inner city that do this, they may get away the first time, and then they keep going back. They got to go back and do it a second time. They got to go back and do it a third time. And then when they get caught, one person get caught, and he tell on everybody. They got us, man. They got us, man. No, they got you. You know what I'm saying?
Come out, Keith.
Everybody say they hard. Everybody say they on the same page. What you say, Bill?
No, I was just mocking. Come out, James. They got us, man. What?
Yeah. Everybody say they ain't gonna snitch down the same page till they get in their room, start throwing them years at them.
They
man.
see you in the
know what I'm saying?
bushes, man. They see you in the bushes.
Man, for
His
real.
mama his godmama live on 12th Street. He probably over there.
Boy,
I didn't want to go to jail by myself.
yeah. Going to the feds too. Woo-wee. Then, like I say, don't shoot at the police, man. That's a death wish, man. Don't do it. You asking for it, man. All right, the next one is how can a change of environment how a change of environment can change everything. So how tough is it to be academic in the streets? I'm gonna go to this video about just a little bit of it about how this dude he was a gangster like in LA. He was saying how I can go ahead and show. He's saying how his dad I didn't make it a link, did I? I can't go to it. I didn't make it a link. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I just talk about the video. He said that his dad was so abusive that he didn't want to stay in the house, and that's when he kind of joined the gang when he was 13. But I think the thing is though, like as a parent, moving to places like that, like Watts and South Central, you know what I'm saying, back then, what'd you say, Peel, like what, South End, the jungle? in East End, you know what I'm saying? Eastgate and North Little Rock, Shorter Garden. I know a lot of places we just didn't go outside like that. Like I know we stayed in the South End, we just stayed in front of the house. We didn't go down there unless we was with our parents or something. But we didn't go down to the park and nothing like that. We kind of just stayed out the way. You know what I'm saying? But some places kids don't really got a choice. You go some places they gonna try you, they gonna try to get you to join. And what do you really do? That's where you live at, because you got to come outside and go to school. But your parents can't go with you every time. So what do you really do in that situation? You know what I'm saying? I think that gets slept on a lot. Like sometimes these kids, they have to go outside and face outside. You know what I'm saying? It's not, everybody playing on the swing and playing hopscotch and stuff like that. That's not every neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like living in Hanger Hill, where it's just everything's inside that fence. You know what I'm saying? But you telling your shit, go outside and play somewhere. Go outside and play. Maybe it ain't a play area, to play in, you know what I'm saying? So
It was that drugs, man. Because most of them neighborhoods was good neighborhoods, man. Most of them, literally.
yeah. Yeah.
Once them drugs and them gangs kicked off, it was too late.
What do you think make a kid join the gang that you think the parents don't realize?
Man, like put it like this. You don't even have to be in a gang and you still gonna get that label just cause where you at anyway.
Yeah, guilty by association sometimes.
Yeah. Cause you dap somebody, somebody, you dap them up while you at school. Oh yeah, you with them. So
Like if you think about like what if something where you grew up at, if you would have got on that side, what do you think you would have did? Either like the gang stuff or the drug stuff? What do you think? Like what was you closest to where y'all lived at when y'all was younger?
I was around the hustlers.
Yeah, I was too.
I mean,
Yeah.
but people that you grew up with, y'all considered a gang anyway. More than it's 5 of us.
Yeah.
We all the same age. We grew up together, so we consider a gang anyway.
What?
But yeah, we grew up
They got
around
black and
hustlers
red
too, man.
shoes. They got the same shoes.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think, man, like I say, the gang stuff's crazy, man, because I remember, like I say, they did the gang bang in the Little Rock, man. It's pretty crazy, but
And I
just,
know
man, how
I
many
knew a lot
dudes?
of those people,
Go ahead.
even as a kid.
Yeah, I
Like,
know, right? Yeah. And how many people got killed, man? You know what I'm saying? That ain't here no more, man. That died in that time. And they was very young, too, you know what I'm saying? Or you didn't get killed, but you walking around with the scars. There's one dude, he said he got hit in the shoulder with an AK. He lost that little piece of his shoulder, man. You don't get that back.
Yeah,
Somebody hit you with a bullet like that. They hit you in your leg and you lose a cow muscle. You don't get that piece of meat back. It's gone. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people realize that. It's gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Mike was a kid when he got hit in the shoulder.
Whew.
Yeah, he was a kid.
And you don't get that back. That piece of your shoulder is gone. That meat is out. You know what I'm saying? And
You could sure touch his bone when he passed away.
I did.
Yeah.
And then, join the gang that could crash you out. You know what I'm saying? Go do this. You say no, then that could be the end of you right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
Hustling. The tough part about hustling is you can't trust nobody. Like, you people say that all the time, I don't trust nobody, but actually living that, you can't trust nobody. But the dude you don't trust, you got to do a drug deal with, though. That's the crazy part, you know what I'm saying?
consistent.
Or, yeah, you don't know who thinking about robbing you, you know what I'm saying? You can't be nowhere for more than 5 minutes. You got to shake. You just got to keep moving, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had one dude told me, he said, I'll go get gas in Pleasant Valley before I get gas in Southwest. You know what I'm saying? This is how crazy it was at that time. We was in high school. He used to tell us stuff like that. Like, nah, I don't get gas in Southwest, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't get down like that. Some dudes, when they rob you, man, some dudes they're not smart. Some dudes are. I heard one dude say they robbed him. They cut his power to his house, his main power. And it was like early in the morning, so he think he could turn the lights off, but the lights not on. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you got to know where everything at, without the lights on, what a shotgun in or whatever. So they come in the house, we don't need no lights. I'm gonna light it up.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
And then, like I say, even with you having a gun, you gotta, like we talked about earlier, it's you or him. It's gonna be self-defense, but you still gonna have to go through the legal system in order to get through it. You know what I'm saying? You survive, but now you got to do 15 years. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about that. You got to make those kind of decisions, like, you know what I'm saying, split decisions. You know what I'm saying? So,
Only if you shoot him in the back. That's it.
no, you can, like I say, we was talking about earlier, you might get a drug deal. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
He pull out his gun, you pull out your gun.
He's talking about on your property.
Yeah.
They in your house, they free game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ain't how that's free game. I'm talking about like if you caught up in like a drug deal or you out there in the hood, you know what I'm saying, you on the wrong side of town, you know what I'm saying, and it go down and you shoot him at Kroger's or whatever because he tried to shoot you. You got away, you survived, but now you got to go through the legal system, you know what I'm
Like,
saying?
what if you're in a project? He shot my baby
Yeah.
for no reason. Your baby was trying to rob me,
Yeah,
and his
Yeah.
mama testifying. He was just sitting there playing his
Yeah.
game, boy, and he shot him.
yeah. Parents do that a lot. They try, you know, your kid's in the game, but then when he do something crazy, somebody come at him, it's like, or what happened? I think somebody tried to rob a liquor store that was young. Was when he was younger. He robbed the liquor store. The owner shot him, but then they tried to crucify the owner of the liquor store. And it's like, dude, he robbed the liquor store. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
Now, I don't
Sometimes-
agree like with shooting somebody over honey bun, but if you go in there, pull a pistol on somebody, hey, it's the Wild Wild West.
Yeah. You got to understand, when you pull that thing out, you don't know what the other person got. They may got it too. You better be ready to use it. If not, the other person might be ready to use it. And sometimes I'm watching that act of self-protection. I should pull up another, but I ain't gonna do it. They'll go in the gas station and think the clerk don't got a gun. He go in there and pull his gun. As soon as he pull it out, the clerk just start letting it go. You know, they let you know the other dude wasn't even thinking about. He just using the gun to scare him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
Yep. Good.
and he don't realize the other dude, he ain't playing around. So this is another one. How does a young kid become calloused? And how can this be prevented from happening in the inner city? You know, they can become, you know, you think about them dudes in Chicago and stuff like O Block and stuff like that. And them dudes out there, boy, it's crazy out there, boy. Man. Like, how does a kid become callous? The process of it. Like, you don't just start out being, you know, killing people. Like, when dudes that be just actually, like, really, like, getting down, like, shooting people and stuff. You don't start out like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a process that you go through mentally to get to that point. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a high, man. Like a
Yeah.
drug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that's what those real killers say, that
Yeah.
the thrill of the kill. But another
Yeah.
thing, when you're not treated like a person, when people don't care about you, especially at a young age, you
Yeah.
don't care about people. They
That's
don't
true.
care. They don't care that your mama living in a house with no furniture. Y'all got food with no refrigerator. Y'all eat
Yeah.
beanie weenies. They don't care about you. You know what I mean?
Right.
They won't. Nobody will give you a candy bar. No one will give you a loaf of bread. You eat nothing sandwiches, and for years, being like that is you and your mama and your siblings. A glass of milk for dinner. You know nobody cares about you. So don't nobody
Right.
care about you. You ain't gonna care about nobody else when you're trying to get what you need for your family. So
Right.
that's how
true.
you become that. You just see
Yeah.
years and years of people not caring about you. They don't care
Right.
if you live, die, starve.
That's true.
So how am I supposed to care about you when you bleeding and I'm taking your money? You didn't care about me when I was starving, but I'm supposed
Right.
to have a conscience about you when
Right.
you got what I want. You got the food
Mhm.
I want to eat. That's what I think.
Yeah. And not having that male, you know, older male figures around, you just leave kids to their own vices. You know what I'm saying? They start developing stuff, you know. Like I say, it's already worse for one. You get 10, 15 of them together, you know, without that male mentorship and figure, man, boy, it get ugly. It can get ugly.
Like for you, like we were taught still it was wrong, but we have food in the house. We have food.
Right.
So you're telling me I don't have any food in my house. My mama's not going to bring home any food. But you're telling me it's wrong to go in this store and steal? I don't see it like that. I mean, I just see it.
I think even in that scenario, the person still know that it's wrong, but they just override it to get what they need to get. Do you agree or not?
Rightfully so. I'm not going to. my moral compass ain't gonna fill my stomach up.
But you got to take the risk that comes with that choice,
Oh, no,
right or wrong.
I'm sorry. The risk is a part of life. So
No, but you can't leave that out. You got to know that you can't leave that out.
No. I mean, it's so ingrained that the risk is known and is willfully accepted. Because I could.
I don't think it is.
No, I can take no risk and be hungry, or I can take this risk and this chance by morals and risk and consequences. Hey, if I get caught, I go to jail, or they take the stuff. The consequences ain't starving to death. So you got to pick your poison, and I'm gonna pick.
That's true.
Stealing this honey bun or this loaf of bread for my brothers and sisters to provide. Now we have the luxury of having a moral compass because we have a choice because we got food at home. So,
But we wasn't always like that though. What made you not do that when you was younger?
No, when you weren't up like all the time, but you had like in my case, we had the bare minimum. We're gonna have a meal at home.
Right. But it's people that we know that had the bare minimum and they still do it though. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Like, and that's what Peter was talking about, like the thrill, the evil of it. So having no choice can leave you callous. And
it's always a choice. That's one thing I tell you. There's always a choice.
No.
It's just, do you want to make? Yes. Yes.
The choice is to survive or not to survive. Yeah, Mike, you can choose not to survive. You can choose to eat a lid sandwich or eat carpet.
I can choose to avoid the legal system. I can choose to avoid the legal system.
I'm telling you, you do have that choice.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't have to eat. You can choose not to eat, and you can.
Or you can choose to figure out how to make money. Figure out how to make money on the side. You know.
I mean, like, you said how a child becomes callous.
As a child, it's kids that they'll clean your gutters out for $5. I mean, they'll find a way. And some people not gonna find a way. They don't care. They're not gonna find a way. They're just gonna go steal. And I'm saying, just take whatever come with it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's risk to everything. You know what I mean? Let your kids play in the park.
And this actually goes along with the next slide, actually. It says, you want to play in the streets, please know the law. I'll make it bigger, too. Make it bigger. It says, ignorance of the law is no excuse. A person who is unaware of the law cannot escape liability for violating the law merely because they were unaware of the law. And I don't know, will not work in a courtroom. I don't know if a lot of kids ever been to a courtroom. But when you go in there, you're looking at this judge in the face. And he asking you, even with parking tickets he ask you why you did it. And some people, they have a reason. They just tell the truth. And some people are like, I don't know. I didn't know nothing about it. Telling the judge, I don't know, man, ain't going to work. It'd probably make him mad, man. You know, especially if he'd already had some crazy cases before he got to yours. But yeah, man. So sometimes they'll tell you, like, look, the judge, man, if you sit in there and wait on your case, you can kind of see how the temperature gonna be.
Yeah,
like, wait a minute.
Hey man,
you ever had that?
He ain't having a good day.
A good day.
Oh man.
I mean, I got a speeding ticket one time. I was working at Red Cross, and I went in there with my Red Cross jacket on, Red Cross polo shirt. He said, "Why you get a ticket?" I was running blood to a hospital. And he let me out. I still had to pay like court costs and stuff, but he let the ticket go, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes, man, if I'd have got to him when he had a bad day, that probably wouldn't have worked though, you know what I'm saying? Just a chance you take. But yeah, when you go in the courtroom, man, saying that you don't know, that's why you got to know. If you want to play in the streets, you better know the laws, man, before you start playing. It's like playing in the league. You better know about the bylaws before you start playing in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? But what y'all think about that?
Oh yeah, most definitely. And some people even know the law and still don't care. So
that's true. They ignore what they know. Yep.
I mean, like sometimes, like when you say you got to 5 times out of 10 you're gonna get away. I'm gonna roll the dice on it. I mean, it's 50-50. You know what I mean? And then you got a 1 in 10 chance. I'm definitely gonna do that. You know what I mean?
Boy. And then people don't think about this, right? you selling drugs and stuff. I seen this happen a lot too. The dude, you still live with your parents and you selling dope, and they come kick in your parents' door. Like, they're not gonna knock on the door and say, "Is Mike there?" No, they kicking the door in like off the hinges. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And why at your parents' house? They don't care if that's your parents' house. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? When you go in front of the judge, he don't care if you 17, 16, 17. You want to do adult crimes, he probably going to charge you as an adult. Here's the thing I would say to kids, right? If you know how the game is played, do you really have an excuse after that point? If you know that they're going to charge kids as an adult, if you do an adult crime, can you really say you didn't know at that point? You know what I'm saying? Or can you really say they being hard on kids? If you know, if you seen people that you grew up with get charged as an adult and then you go do it, how can you say that, you know, they being harsh on kids, especially when you know that they gonna do it after you know the game, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe say he's charged as an adult, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you doing adult crime, you out here murdering people, it's probably gonna happen. They're probably gonna charge you as an adult, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
You've been around them. Go ahead, Joe.
it is what it is. Like being on that, like when
Yeah.
you kill somebody, it's gonna be consequences. Like you're not gonna be like you're not gonna squeeze by. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe like you steal something, maybe you get probation or something like that. You get a little DWI. You know, maybe they go easy on you, maybe. But you kill somebody like with a gun, like they get.
Yeah. And then certain drugs, like was it formaldehyde and bombing fluid? You get caught with that. Is that automatic life or pretty close to it or something like that? If you get caught with that?
I don't know about that.
But dudes be smoking sherm.
Yeah, they don't really.
Dudes smoking sherm all the time. But yeah, I think if you get caught with it.
Recently, like they broke in the funeral home, either here in.
But I think if you get caught with it, you get a lot of time though, bro. If you get caught with it though, you get a lot of time. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
For
it's
real.
that fentanyl. They
Yeah, fentanyl too.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they made it. That's just, they
right.
can only make that in the lab. But
Yeah. Yeah, that don't mean you mess with it. They made a lot of stuff in the lab. Don't mean you mess with it.
Man,
like it's an epidemic they caused. Yeah, no, we
it's that
Yeah,
beauty
but you may
supply. The people
like
that
at what
beauty
point
supply.
do you think selling drugs is not a good decision? At what point does it become just not a good decision amongst everybody? It just seems like it just ain't. We ain't at that point yet. People still want to do, 70 years in the feds. You know what I'm saying? Get kingpin charges and stuff.
It's supply and demand. The demand for drugs is very high. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the time you get is very high. Yes.
They're just trying to deter you from making their money. Supply. That's why they made marijuana legal, because the demand ain't going nowhere. For these
I think it's only federally legal, not state legal. Though. I think it's only federal.
We can drive a couple miles to a place where it's legal. I mean, each state got a neighboring state that sells it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I mean, it's not like legal, but it's kind of legal.
It is long overdue.
The demand is so high for drugs from ancient times. They just said, hey, we can't fight this. We gotta. The government had to get in on this money, and it's just a thing. I mean, it's just a way. It's entrepreneurship. It's like insider trading. I mean, people gonna do dirty things or underhanded things to make money.
Yeah, it's like federal time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like federal
what I
time.
It's white collar. It's white collar. It's blue collar.
I mean, think about this. BMF, Big Meat, she been locked up since we was in high school.
Yep.
He just now talking about getting out next year. He talking about they may be getting out next year. He been there with.
I think he got locked up in like 06 or something.
Still a long time.
06 or 09.
2006 and it's 2024 now. You know what I'm saying?
But
it wasn't even a two.
Like we'll never go to jail, but I will never touch the money he was touching.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a.
They said he told him though. He said they told him in the meeting one time. He said, "Dude, we're going to jail. So your best thing to do is live out now, so you can live it out in your head when you locked up." But he said, "We're going to jail."
Who said they know? Yeah, I mean,
He said they was going hard, man. They was going hard. I mean, it's dudes that went kind of hard like that in Little Rock. I don't be want to say people's names because I know they trying to come home and stuff. But man, it's a lot of dudes we know. They in jail. They been in jail since we was in high school, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some people they forgot they still living. Like, man, he still living? Yeah, man, he in the feds. Man.
they went to jail when they was using pagers.
Boy, still in that thing. For real.
Yeah.
Next slide. Said legal trouble costs. How much is it to retain a lawyer and can you put up the bail?
Boy, it's over. You ain't got enough money. You ain't got enough money to fight them cases like that.
Hey, boy.
Nobody
Any
does like
case,
that.
man.
Unless
Yeah.
you like regular stuff, no, you ain't got a lawyer just to do that. You know what I mean? You gotta take out another mortgage on your house. Now, if you selling like big drugs, maybe you can put a lawyer on retainer.
If you save your
like,
money, if you save your money, yeah.
you just not save it, just a lot that. Like soon as you get it, he get this piece. You know what I mean? He getting 5 to 10%. That's just the cost of operational.
There's one thing I learned too about being around hustlers. The lawyers, boy, they tell you they need they need 7 racks. You better give them the 7 racks, like right there. You better have it for them right there. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the lawyers, when you pay for your lawyer, he'll tell you. I heard him say this. You can buy some of your time back, but you got to lay down for at least 2 or 3 years. I can't get all of it, get you out of all of it, but I can get you out of most of it, but I can't get you out of all of it. And sometimes that's a tough pill to swallow too, because it's like you facing 10. You say, man, I could get you down to 3. That's about as much as I can get you down to. And then sometimes you will have a lawyer get you lined up for that, and then you get caught for something else while that case is pending. You know what I'm saying? And boy. Or something crazy, you know what I'm saying? Boy, for real.
Threatening the witness and all that.
Ooh, yeah. And then you think about bail. My mom told me, man, if you get caught up in jail, I'm not putting my house up for you. You gonna be in there. You gonna be in that thing, dog. I'm not putting my house up for you. I believe it too. That's why they do.
Little 30 days. I be telling people like, you can do 30 days or you can post bail. Like, man, you don't give up all that money.
Boy. Talking about what, $10,000 bail? What you got to pay $1,000 or something like that? It's like, is it like 10%? Is it like 10%?
You can't keep gas in your car. So how you gonna just drop 1,000? You know what I mean? So
that's true. That's for real.
We used to have to put up money for certain family members because you like, man, you know they going to jail.
Yeah.
And they been in and out since. In and out.
Man. Then you put up the bail. Like, you ever seen Brewster's Place? Y'all ever seen that movie, Brewster's Place? She put up the house for her son, and he skipped bail. He skipped court, and she lost the house. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about that, too. Like, are you even trustworthy for me to put bail on you like that? To put up my house or mortgage,
And that's the co-signing thing. That's the co-signing thing, too.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah, man. She loved her son. Said, that's my baby. He put the house up. He skipped.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's like another thing, too. Like, people be asking you to do stuff like this unreal. Could you co-sign? Put all your credit on the line for me. You got 2 repos in the past, but you my uncle, and I got to co-sign for you now. You know what I mean? Now I'm looking like Boo Boo the Fool. I'm 21 years old, and my credit score like 200, 150, and I got a repo on mine. You know what I mean? I ain't even on the car, and I get a repo. That's crazy. Putting your house up for somebody who goes to jail a lot. I had a family member. He's in jail a lot. You used to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, if my brother go to jail, if Nick go to jail, we get him out. I mean, he got a job. He ain't been to jail. You know what I mean? Man, let's get him right out of there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he can possibly pay you back. If you in jail all the time, you used to. You like your homeboys in there. Go visit your people.
Boy. So our next slide is how child support can set you back. And say, can child support be avoided?
The short answer is yes. Follow God, be a family, support your kids, support your wife. Child support is unnecessary. It doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Get married, no divorce. Hey, no child support. You know what I mean? But hey, we don't live in a perfect world.
We don't. Yeah, that's true.
If you get 50-50 custody, you don't have to worry about child support because you're taking care of your child. Another thing, watch who you have babies with. You won't have to worry about child support. You don't have to worry about a deadbeat dad. If you your screening process was a little better, I understand people change when the pressure hit. Another thing, and if you are on child support, keep up. Pay whatever they tell you to pay because it could end you up in jail, mess up your credit, hundreds of $30,000-$40,000 in back child support when you say I'm not gonna pay it, I'm just gonna get jobs to pay me cash, but you'll never have.
It's still racking up. It's still racking up. Yep.
Or you done been with them for so long, and they come back with that. I mean, he ain't did nothing. What? You been with this? You been together 10 years, and you say what? Oh, he ain't did nothing. Oh man.
And then here's the thing too, to my young fellas out there.
If you had, especially you know the kid's yours. Come on now.
No.
And then the thing too with if you like we just talked about earlier, you know how the game is played, and you know that there are some women out here that are they're spiteful. You trying to take care of the kid, but they'll still put you on child support just out of spite. You gotta, but they don't tell you that when you first meet them. Hey, you know, if you get me pregnant, I'm gonna put you on child support out of spite. That's something you got to figure out. You know what I'm saying? Understand who you dealing with. Like what John said, watch you. You know, be careful who you have babies by, because you don't know that person fully. You know what I'm saying? Take years and years to know probably 30% of who a person is. You know what I'm saying? And that's just 30%. Like, if you ain't grew up with somebody from birth, you don't know 100% of a person. You know what I'm saying? That's impossible, man. If you met somebody at 15 years old, that means that's 14 years that you don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Just think about that.
That's when the rush stuff happened.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And then, you know, we get a girl pregnant. I've, seen dudes, they go on a string, you mess around and have, 5, like what dude Jalen Green, 2 or 3 kids, about 3 or 4 different women. It's coming. Child support coming, bro. He knows it's coming. I don't even know what he was thinking, but it's coming.
But then they say child support ain't that really that much. I mean, especially for regular people per child.
Man, you crazy.
It won't be that much of your income, but then you start compounding it 2, 3, 4. Like, you know what I mean? Let's say if they taking 30%, they can't take 30% 4 times. You know what I mean? But that's a large amount.
Man, listen, my dad had 9 kids by maybe 4 or 5 different women, and he really couldn't. It was hard for him to keep a job, bro, because that child support would take anything that touches Social Security account, they taking it. His Social Security number, they taking it. So he would find he worked like cash job, like Manpower, like little contract jobs, stuff like that. But yeah, and I worked with a dude one time. It's an older guy, man. When he made his final payment, he didn't know he did because he was so used to paying it. He got a full check. Man, dude almost cried on the spot, bro. He looked at his check and said, he got like a full check instead of child support check. He probably was taking like half of it or so. Because I guess you pay it to that 18 or something like that.
Yep.
But yeah, he got that full check, man. Dude about cried on the spot, man. He said, I ain't never seen this much money in a while. I ain't seen this much money. You know what I'm saying?
That's
pretty crazy.
That was probably my daddy. That was probably my daddy.
Oh, man. But yeah, man, watch out there playing around, man. So you just playing the sex game, people don't win, man. Everybody don't win that game, man.
It's cheaper to keep them.
Boy, for real. For real.
Yeah, shout out to my pops, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who lost a pops, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So our next slide, to pick one before we get ready to get up out this thing.
Yeah.
You got something you want to say, Peter, before we move on?
Yeah,
You got something you want to say?
I ain't have a daddy. That was my homeboy.
That was your homeboy.
Well, shout out to the real dads, living and dead.
Yeah. So tell me who y'all got, man. Todd Day or Sidney Moncrief?
Sydney.
I'm going Moncrief.
Yeah.
I'm going Todd, man. I like Todd Day. I'm going Todd Day.
You tripping.
Yeah, I'm going Todd Day.
Yeah.
Sidney Moncrief was cool, too.
He
I
was
like
that
Todd
dude.
Day, though.
He was that dude.
Oh, Todd Day. Todd Day was that dude, too. Think
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
He averaged like 18, something like that for the Celtics when he
Man,
played
might
for the
wanna go
Celtics,
check.
something like that.
Might want to check Sidney Moncrief stats, man.
Sorry.
It's not about the stats. It's just who you like, who you rolling with.
Oh yeah, Moncrief was that dude.
Yeah, I'm going Ty Day, man. Then he coaching at Philander too. I think he coaching at Philander too, getting him right up there.
You should have did. You should have did Ty Day or Lee Mayberry.
No, Ty Day and Sidney Moncrief. Who you roll with? This is who you roll with.
I'm rolling with Moncrief. He'll watch Ty Day.
All right, guys, make sure you check in, man, next Thursday for this podcast. And we go live again. And make sure you watch CTM Sports as we do throughout the week. And while we own that, did y'all see how they robbed SGA? I know you was hot about that, boy.
Man, 38.
So they robbed him.
Man.
Oh, man. Then the Joker said he didn't even keep up with the MVP race. He said he was worried about it. He was thinking about some other stuff. I was like, wow.
They gave it to them. I know what
Yeah,
they're
Shaq.
trying to do.
I think SGA should have won the MVP.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I tried to tell you, Mike, but you didn't want to listen.
I think Anthony Edwards should have won the MVP. That's who should have won it.
Their record was a little bit too low.
Yeah.
But they
He cooking everybody in the playoffs. He cooking everybody too. He cooking everybody in the playoffs, man.
Oh, you talking about Jordan? Anthony Jordan? Anthony
Man,
Edwards
Jordan,
Jordan?
he said stop comparing him to Jordan, man. He said Jordan way better. He said stop comparing him to Jordan, man.
Yeah, that's his daddy, of course.
Yeah. But anything y'all want to say, man, before we get up out this thing?
Keep grinding.
So, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching after we get done. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. Thanks for sharing. And we are signing out.